In 1906, General Destin Petrus, Sam commanded a disciplined Haitian army that made Washington uneasy. His rise was no accident, and his story stretched back decades, rooted in the lessons of Haiti's hard-earned freedom. Destin was born in 1869 in the northern plains, where mountains rose like guardians over coffee plantations and sugar fields. His father, a veteran Kako fighter, taught him to read the land like scripture. His mother, descended from Polish soldiers who had stayed after Haiti's revolution, taught him French and German. From childhood, Sam learned that freedom was fragile, earned daily, and defended with vigilance. By the late 1880s, Sam was translating military manuals under the shade of breadfruit trees. He studied strategy and tactics with the discipline of a scholar and the eye of a soldier. By the turn of the century, he wore the scarlet-trimmed kepi of a Haitian general. His rise came through merit, not palace intrigue. He drilled his battalions until boots struck in perfect unison. He reformed the army. Officers no longer treated regiments as personal property, and soldiers saluted the nation before the man. By 1905, any foreign ship entering Haitian waters could see the transformation. 10,000 men stood in ordered ranks. Old grass rifles gleamed under the tropical sun, and artillery crews hit targets at distances that impressed visiting European attaches. The army was no longer a collection of warlord bands. It was a nation's shield. Sam understood that a shield could become a beacon. A strong, disciplined Black Republic threatened the assumptions of Washington and the Caribbean elites alike. Quietly, he began diplomatic journeys. Kingston, 1904, met Jamaican merchants, printing Pan-African pamphlets in secret. Santiago de Cuba, 1905, shared counsel with independence veterans, wary of American sugar interests. Santo Domingo, 1906, spoke to young officers, fostering regional alliances against external domination. Everywhere he went, he planted the same principle. Alone, they were vulnerable. Together, they could endure. Back in Washington, intelligence reports grew heavier. Naval attaches noted Haitian troops marching in precise formations. Diplomatic pouches described a general quoting Yomini in flawless French. President Theodore Roosevelt read reports and muttered under his breath, the words "serious menace" underlined in red. Newspapers began labeling Sam a bloodthirsty despot, ignoring the libraries he maintained or his refusal to execute deserters. Public perception was managed, while private dispatches acknowledged a disciplined army loyal to the nation, not the general loyalty Washington could not tolerate. Sam corresponded cautiously. Letters reached W.E.B. Du Bois in the United States and early Pan-African circles in London, hinting at regional cooperation. Small shipments of modern rifles arrived discreetly from Hamburg, disguised as farming tools. Drafts of a Caribbean defense treaty circulated quietly. Officer exchanges, joint maneuvers, and shared security between Haiti, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic, with Cuba potentially joining later. The American legation monitored every shipment. Minister Furness wired the State Department. The Haitian general represents a clear danger to hemispheric stability. Roosevelt underlined the warning twice, fully aware that Sam's discipline and vision could inspire nations across the Caribbean to stand independent of American control. Europe descends into war in 1914. Haiti proclaims neutrality. German cruisers take coal at Gonâves. American battleships watch from the horizon. The pretext ripens. July 28, 1915. A Port-au-Prince, mob tears. President Guillaume Sam Lim, from Lim, USS Washington, appears at dawn the next day. Marines land before the blood dries on the palace steps. Admiral Caperton declares he has come to restore order. The hunt begins in earnest. General Sam is in the north with his best brigades. He orders retreat into the high chaos. Kako fighters, peasants who know ever of Inhars, the invaders night and day. For years, the mountains have bled blue uniforms. Patrols vanish on narrow trails. Convoys burn under moonlight. Marine lieutenants write home about invisible marksmen who never maze. The Corps answers with methods learned in the Philippines. Villages suspected of feeding guerrillas are burned to ash. Hostages are shot in beaches. Forced labor gangs rebuild roads under the lash. The official death toll reaches 15,000. The true count is spoken only in prayer. General Sam moves like the wind through the peaks. 1 month near Hinge, the next near. He still signs every order in his elegant hand. He still refuses to surrender. October 1918. A trusted courier accepts American silver. Coordinator whispered. Marines surround a stone house at dawn. When the firing stops, the general lies dead beside 20 of his guard. His body is carried to Port-au-Prince. For proof, photographs show a calm face, eyes open, uniform buttoned to the throat. The threat, they declare, is ended. The occupation grinds on until 1934. The Constitution is altered to allow foreign land ownership illegal. Since 1804, the army is abolished entirely. Every officer who served under Sam is exiled or quietly killed. Crates of documents sail north under seal. Multiple Caribbean leaders had tentatively agreed to join. European arms dealers had quietly signed contracts for 50,000 modern rifles. The draft treaty rested in a locked cedar box in the general's northern headquarters. Signatures were expected within weeks. Then the Marines landed. The United States did not invade because Haiti was unstable. Haiti became unstable the moment Washington decided a strong black republic was intolerable. That decision was made long before 1915. It was simply executed when the excuse appeared. This was never an exception. It was the template. Grenada, 1983. A small island begins building its own future. Airports, schools, literacy brigades rise. Washington calls it a Soviet threat. Paratroopers fall from the sky at dawn. Panama, 1989. A former ally refuses to remain a puppet. He speaks of sovereignty and canal profits. Tanks roll through poor neighborhoods at Christmas. Haiti, 1991, and again in 2004. A priest-turned president threatens the old order. Embargoes tighten. Private planes land at night. The pattern never changes. Every time a black or brown nation stands straighter than allowed, the same machinery hums to life. The media paints the leader as a tyrant. Economies are strangler.bo. Soldiers or proxies arrive to restore order. The threat is never tanks. The threat is an example. General Sam was erased because he almost succeeded. His crime was competence. In his skin they had declared incompetent. His vision proved the lie. You were taught that Haiti is poor because Haitians are poor at governing. You were never taught about the 19-year occupation that dismantled every institution of You were never shown the treaty that almost created a Caribbean shield. You were never told the name of the general who frightened an empire with discipline and hope. Silence was the final weapon. They burned papers, sealed archives, and rewritten textbooks. All designed so you would never ask why so many black nations limp when they once ran. Yet archives crack open. Declassified folders from the 1980s and 1990s spill their secrets. Cold bureaucratic sentences admit what propaganda denied. The coalition was real. The arms were coming. The signatures were days away. The danger was inspiration. That is why 15,000 had to die. That is why a nation was broken for a century. That is why a name was scrubbed from every book. But names spoken aloud have power. Seeds buried under concrete still split stone when the rain comes. Say his name when they tell you some people cannot govern themselves. Si, Destin, Petrus, Sam. Say it when they speak of failed states, as if failure were destiny. Say it when they pretend history is an accident instead of deliberate violence. He was not perfect. No one asks for saints. He was possible. He was proof that black strategic brilliance is not rare. It is hunted. The next time Haiti is reduced to charity, photos, and pity. Remember the disciplined army that once marched under its own flag? Remember the treaty almost signed? Remember the general who made presidents lose sleep? They needed 100 years and oceans of blood to bury him. They failed. Because tonight, someone is hearing his story for the first time. Tonight, someone is writing his name where children will see it tomorrow. Tonight, the seed cracks the concrete a little wider. That is how the buried win, not with revenge. Wait, memory, and memory, once awakened, never sleeps again. Europe descended into war in 1914. Haiti proclaimed strict neutrality. Its ports cautious but open. German cruisers, cold at Gonaives, watched from the horizon by wary American battleships. Tensions rose, but the pretext for intervention waited in the wings. On July 28, 1915, a violent mob in Port-au-Prince lynched President Guillaume Sam. By dawn, USS Washington appeared offshore. Marines landed immediately, claiming the mission to restore order. General Sam, in the north, with his best brigades, ordered a strategic retreat into the high chaos. Cockle-fighters, peasant soldiers, intimately familiar with every ravine, harassed the invaders relentlessly. 4 months. Patrols vanished along narrow mountain trails. Convoys burned under moonlight. Marine lieutenants rode home of unseen marksmen who never missed. The occupying forces responded with brutal efficiency, applying methods learned in the Philippines. Villages suspected of aiding guerrillas were burned. Hostages were executed. Forced labor gangs rebuilt roads under lash. The official death toll reached 15,000, though the true number was known only in whispers and prayers. General Sam moved, like the wind through the peaks, 1 month near Hinch, the next near Jack. Every order bore his elegant signature. Surrender was never considered. By October 1918, Betrayal Kame, a trusted courier, accepted American silver, revealing Sam's coordinates. Marines surrounded a stone house at dawn. When the smoke cleared, General Sam lay dead beside 20 of his closest guards. His body was returned to Port-au-Prince as proof. Photographs showed a calm face, eyes open, uniform buttoned to the throat. The official narrative declared the threat ended. The occupation continued until 1934, systematically dismantling Haitian sovereignty. The Constitution was amended to allow foreign land ownership, previously banned since 1804. The army was abolished entirely. Officers who had served under Sam were exiled or quietly eliminated. Crates of documents, plans for regional cooperation, arms shipments, and treaties were shipped north under strict seal. A Caribbean coalition had nearly formed. European arms dealers had signed contracts for 50,000 modern rifles. Treaties rested in locked cedar boxers. Signatures expected within weeks until the Marines intervened. The United States did not invade because Haiti was inherently unstable. Haiti became unstable the moment Washington decided that a strong black republic could not exist. That decision predated 1915. The lynching and landing was simply the execution of a pre-existing plan. This pattern would repeat across the hemisphere. Grenada, 1983. A small island builds its future. Washington labels it a Soviet threat. Panama, 1989. Sovereignty defied. Tanks rolled through neighborhoods at Christmas. Haiti, 1991. In 2004, priests and presidents threatened the old order. Embargoes tighten. Private planes land at night. Every time a black or brown nation stood taller than permitted, the same machinery activated. Media vilified leaders. Economies were strangled. Soldiers or proxies restored order. The threat was never the weapons, it was the example. General Sam was erased, not for tyranny, but for competence. He proved the lie that black strategic brilliance was rare. History told that Haiti failed, yet it was deliberate violence, systematic erasure, and silence that broke the nation for decades. Archives eventually cracked open. Declassified files from the 1980s and 1990s confirmed what propaganda denied. The coalition was real, the arms were coming. Signatures were days away, and the true danger was inspiration. 15,000 died. A nation was broken for a century. A name scrubbed from every book. Yet names spoken aloud hold power. Seeds buried under concrete still split stone when rain falls. Say his name. Diston Petros. Some say it when history is misrepresented, when Feli states are claimed to be distant. He was not perfect. No one asks for saints. He was possible. He proved black strategic brilliance is not rarit, is hunted. The next time Haiti appears reduced to charity photos and pity, remember the disciplined army that once marched under its own flag. Remember the treaty almost signed. Remember the general who made presidents lose sleep. They needed a century and oceans of blood to bury him. He failed. Tonight, someone hears his story for the first time. Tonight, someone writes his name where children will see it tomorrow. Tonight, the seed cracks the concrete a little wider. This is how the buried win, not with revenge, but with memory. And memory, once awakened, never sleeps again.